Hi everyone, let's talk about Microbrew, which I'll now put down so I'm not rattling it throughout the entire video. It's on Kickstarter right now, the link is in the description so you can go and check out the campaign page and see all of the lovely final stuff. So, the game itself, I think it's a really sharp game that's got a lot packed into the tiny tin, which I know is the idea of it. But yeah, this really tense two-player worker placement thing, the idea where you're bumping workers really does affect you because it's kind of extending the round for the other player, and if they don't do it, if they don't reciprocate, they are getting extra actions in that round. The moving brewmaster is another nice little touch that is, you want to go to that action, but it's going to give the other player one of the favor tokens that they can use to get a free action that maybe they're going to get to serve someone, and they're not going to bump you out of the serve space. There are all of these lovely things to think about just in the basic worker placement of the game. And then there is, the rearranging puzzle of your copper. I really like that, trying to get the discs in the right place to try and match the patterns on the recipes, but you often can't do that exactly, so you're trying to balance, how long do you wait for the perfect thing? Do you just try and get customers served, try and serve a load of mediocre beer to just try and build up enough money and then spend all your money on advertising to try and get the loyal customers? Or do you try and do it properly and actually make decent drinks so that people will come to you based on the quality of that as well? The powers of the customers are something to think about based on, they will just give you extra money if you can serve them the right symbol. So maybe you can get away with having a not quite perfect beer if you have got the right symbol, because they'll give a little bit extra because they really like spicy beers or something like that. It's a really nice system. The secret goals is quite nice, and it adds a bit of tension to, really going for a particular customer. I don't think you can really... Maybe if you were really experienced, it doesn't seem like, because there are only one of each flag, you can't really get a sense of, oh, they're building up this pattern, because you might well start with one, like Marty's, that's for 2 customers. It's for 2, I think, because it's maybe harder to achieve, because you need to get both of those customers to get the majority. Well, you don't need to get both, but if the other person took the other one, you wouldn't be able to get that majority. So it can be harder to do, but in this case, Marty started with them, so it's not like you can kind of see, oh, I think he's going for this goal. It's just kind of an extra thing that is influencing your decisions. But I like that kind of, those different strategies that you don't necessarily, it even says this in the rulebook, I'm just speaking out as something that's in the rulebook as a tip at the end, that yeah, you don't have to stick to these strategies. You can suddenly turn a new leaf and stop being an advertising machine and suddenly start actually brewing proper beer now that, your advertising's probably gotten too expensive if you've done it to a certain extent. And then there's, thought of, do you hire a new worker so you can keep getting more actions every round and probably increase your chances of getting bumped out so you get even more and it's just a rolling thing? Or do you extend your copper so you've got more choice in how you can move around, or you've got more opportunities when a recipe comes out, you might have the perfect column ready for that right then. Yeah, that's another thing to think about, where you are trying to collect all of these recipes. Maybe there's goals out for them, maybe there's particular customers that you're trying to think about, but you're also trying to match up just these symbols that are in your wars as well. And do you take the time to brew and rearrange them to get the perfect thing, or will the other player kind of guess what they've made this perfect pattern now, okay, I can take this recipe away now and I'll make a shoddy version of it, but the recipe's not there anymore for you to make. And that kind of brings me on to the other thing that, we are, if you've seen any of my videos, we are very much Care Bear players and very live and let live. And this game is definitely not that. That's something definitely to bear in mind, that a lot of this game, because it is, a battle between the two of you, a lot of this game is trying to anticipate, as well as doing as well as you can by yourself, trying to anticipate what your opponent is doing, being aware of the patterns they're making, or the recipe cards that they've just gotten hold of, the recipe cards that they have. If a customer comes out with that recipe card, oh wow, I need to serve that customer something rubbish so that they're not thirsty anymore and they can't be served this turn. Or you've made this perfect pattern in your copper, I'm going to take this recipe away. Or I need to get ahead and get into this space so that you're going to knock me out and get another worker. It all works really well together, but yeah, it's definitely a more aggressive, or you're trying to deprive the other person of things I'd say just as much as you are trying to work harder for yourself. And yeah, if you're that kind of player, I think it will really appeal to you. We are kind of on the softer side, so yeah, it was a bit much for us, but for the game itself, I can definitely see the, yeah, I said using the same adjectives over and over again, but the sharpness of the design and how much it manages to pack into this tiny tin. But yeah, definitely be prepared for an all-out fight in the beer brewing world. But yeah, you can see the playthrough and decide for yourself and take a look at the campaign page. But that's Microbrew. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye.